Hey guys, welcome back to the Colour Cave. It's Jem here and I would like to introduce to you my sheet of black paper, and today we're going to tackle the November Upcrate battle. Quite a few of you wanted to see me do this anyway, but this is really just out of curiosity for me because, as I mentioned in the last video, which I'll link in the end card, that I have had these pencils and things before, but I never tried them on black paper, so I wanted to kind of give that a bash myself. Don't know how it's going to turn out right off, but we can try. Okay, so I have my 2H pencil, not my 2B pencil, and I'm just going to sketch out some really rough lines here. Okay, I know you can see practically nothing, but I do actually have, there's some graphite on this paper, so it should all come to fruition now. And in the grand tradition of liking to make things difficult for myself, I am going to have two light sources in this picture. They are both coming from the same side, which makes it slightly easier. But I'm just going to start down here in this corner, and we'll go from there. We'll see how it goes. So we're going to get a little bit of coloured pencil on the go first here. One thing that I remember now that I've started doing this from last time is that I was infuriated that the colours were only on the tip of the pencil and you had to like have them all facing in a certain direction so that you remember what's what kind of thing. I'm going to have a wee go at sharpening this blender as well. I am not going to use the Cretacolor sharpener for this though, I'm just going to use a commoner garden sharpener. At the moment I'm sporting this rather jazzy Milan, and this is an eraser and sharpener in one. The eraser's in the top part and the sharpener's in the bottom. Right, get a bit of blendy going. See if we can smooth out some of this colour. And that is doing the sweet sum of nothing. Had to be very careful, I nearly said a sweary word there. I just want to test on this tester sheet. I don't know whether these pencils are wax based or oil based. But I'm just wondering if I was to put down some of this brown pencil, which you can just see there, what happens if I try and... Oh, interesting. Right, where's my brown pencil again? Lost it. Where's it gone? I am going to use this to my advantage right this very second. So, I mean, I did make the assumption that this sharpener would work with this pencil, but you just never know sometimes, so let's just give it a whirl. Yep, good enough for me. I'm going to try and keep a really light hand when I'm doing this because, again, knowing that this pencil doesn't layer up very well, and I can just have that disappearing off into nothing. And then back in with this brown pencil. We're not off to a terrible start. I just want like a hint of colour on this part here. And then as I bring it down, I want to be able to sort of intensify this. The light from the candle is going to illuminate some of the wall behind it. Let's try and add some layers here. I'm really... Like, I'm trying to be so careful here. I actually think the texture of the paper is going to work in my favour here as well. This is like the third layer of pencil and already the paper's going, nope. It is quite vibrant when you do get to that stage. I just feel, I mean, I'm perfectly capable of using these pencils, but I just feel as if I'm fighting with them all the time. The other thing I wanted to see is this blue lead, to see what it's like next to the two blue pencils that we've got, the coloured pencils. So it is lighter than, it is the lightest pencil, okay. So now as I'm moving across here, I have to start considering the light source, and the other light source is the moon, which is going to be about here, so that is maybe going to catch some of the very edge of this side. And again, this candlelight's probably going to catch the bottom edge here. One thing I will say is that the lead in this mechanical pencil blends really well with the coloured pencils, and that is really helpful right now. I'm kind of having to rub out my graphite as I go here because it's getting in my way. I'd also like to point out right now as well, pencil is one of the slowest mediums you'll ever use. The actual filming of this is probably going to take me about 3 hours, but you will see a very, very edited down version. You can barely see that, but that's kind of what I'm after. And I'm going to go back to this Creta colour pencil. There we go. Okay, now comes the fun part. One of my first ever drawings on black paper was the moon, and it was really good fun. In fact, I'll maybe link that one in the end card for you as well if you want to see me do that on black paper. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the exploration process and trying to sort of wrap my head around the fact that you're working in a way that you wouldn't normally work. You know, when you're used to working on white paper or even toned paper. In fact, do you know what? I've just had a change of heart. I'm going to make the moon much bigger than this. That's better. I've just found an eraser on the end of this mechanical pencil, and that's going to be really helpful for me too because I think I've made a boob here. Oh, I might actually get away with this. No, I'm not going to get away with it. Damn it! I think I might try and use the chalk oil pencil for this. I don't want to take away from this cat's tail too much, so that I'm just going to leave that there, I think. Now I'm back to my brown pencil. I didn't think I would use a brown pencil just quite so much on such a dark paper. I'm going to test out this mechanical pencil eraser. See if the gods of erasers are with me today. Oh yeah. Well, that's really helpful. That's yes. Because we need this to be in here. I could spend a lot of time getting the light sources and the shading right in these parts that I'm doing just now, but it's actually to hold more of a structure for the picture than anything, so I'm not going to be too fussy about that. So by pushing the snow really far over on this paint, it's just helping me define this left hand side of the cat, because obviously it's supposed to be in shadow, so that's quite handy as well. Now by the time we're reaching over here, I think that anything sort of past this point isn't going to be hit by the candle, so I think we're going to be relying on moonlight at this point. Could maybe I might just put a tiny little hint of colour here. Oh, that's really vibrant. That's not what I wanted at all. I'm not going to bother switching the lead over on this either to use the green one, I'm afraid. Maybe I want a little bit of green in here. It's kind of balancing that idea of utilising the light source but still being able to identify the shapes in the actual drawing, and if you go too much the either way you end up losing it, and I find it quite a difficult balance to get, and there are maybe one or two occasions where I have perhaps taken it too far. Like down here, I kind of want to add in a little bit like the very bottom strands of her hair, so that you know that it's a little girl with, pigtails. But I don't know how obvious that is if it draws your eye in enough, and that's the kind of part that's really difficult to gauge, but I'm going to try here. I can always erase this. Maybe catch a few hairs on the crown of her head there. I don't know if that's helped or not. Okay, so I'm going to continue on, extend my window pane slightly here. It is amazing though, the last wee while I have been working primarily in mediums that I am not used to. Just between Inktober and more recently the Pan Pastels video. And it is so nice, regardless of the fact that they're crappy pencils. It's actually really nice to be working in a medium that I'm comfortable with. And just being able to enjoy what I'm doing more than trying to get things right, if you know what I mean. Despite the crappy pencils, I'm actually secretly enjoying this. I like the sort of slow methodicalness of pencil. I find it just something that's really comforting. I'm aware that my window panes are incredibly wonky, but I'm kind of okay with that. Gives it a more sort of hand-drawn feel, I think. I feel as if I have to give this cat whiskers on the other side as well. It just looks a bit lopsided. All these window panes. There's far too many of them. Whose stupid idea was this? This is where it gets interesting, because in here is going to be a man in a big red suit. And I think I'm going to go I really don't want to have to go back to this colour, but I have to put some sort of detail in so that we can, you know, you can differentiate as to what it actually is. And this is what I was saying earlier, this is like the tricky part, and it's getting to look like what you want it to look like without it getting crazy. Bit of a continuity error in my my window panes here, but never mind. I don't know how recognisable these are going to be as stars, but we'll try. I think I'll keep them green and red, like just to keep a sort of festive feel. I think that I don't want to overdo it. Right, let's oh, wrong one again. Let's get some more snow in here. And I'm going to do my best not to obscure as much of the reindeer and the sled as I can. Okay, now I feel like I'm getting somewhere. I've lost my brown pencil again. Again, this is a frustration I had last time. I kept getting the brown and black mixed up just because the ends are both so dark. And if you're not in really good light, it can be quite difficult to tell the difference. Thankfully today it's a nice bright day, but it's yeah, it's a little bit frustrating. Maybe give her some blue jeans. I can't decide whether this lady, I don't know whether it's maybe her older sister or her mum, but I can't decide whether she's in like normal people's clothes or whether she's in like pyjamas. So I kind of want her to have brown hair, but there's too much brown going on. There's like way too much brown going on. And when I do the blue at this side, it's going to have to be so subtle. Barely touching the paper, which from a filming perspective isn't great. Let's be realistic here. But that is literally going to have to be it. I see I've still got all my graphite lines in here because obviously I had drew her body shape to figure out, you know, like where I was putting her kind of thing. I just wanted to give like a hint of the shape of the background, and it's going to be the same here. Now, is this the right pencil? When I'm doing the sort of wallpaper part, it's just going to have to be super light. Again, I don't want to take away too much from, you know, from what's going on here, and I just feel like that might be the case if I put too much colour in. Right, I've just got to finish off in this little corner now, and we are done. Brown. Here we go. I was going to frame this with the washi tape, but I think it's going to take away from the contrast in the picture, so I've decided against that. So all I'm going to do now is just sign the bottom. And I am done. And I have to say, I have thoroughly enjoyed this, and it's simply because it's pencil and it's my favourite thing to do. I will zoom in a wee bit more and we can have a look in a bit closer detail of what's going on here. You can still see some of my graphite lines, but they're not horrendous, so there we go. My moon's turned out not too bad. There we go. And that is my Upcrate battle piece for the month of November. I would love to hear your thoughts on this and also hear what you have drawn if you have gone for it as well. Yes, I have thoroughly enjoyed myself. It's nice to have a little bit of pencil every now and then. I just want to thank you all very much for watching, and we shall see you on Thursday for another video. Have a good day everyone, and bye for now.